Yes, don't panic because you can still save your child. I have seen parents, especially mothers, go crazy because of the fear of losing their kids to social services. They get buried in emotions that torment them every day. I don't know about you, though, like the way the culture I come from. Parents will do everything to ensure that their kids are safe and healthy. Even as poor as a parent can be, they will ensure that they cook for their kids, they work extra hard to pay school fees. Some of them even send their children to expensive boarding and private school just to make sure that their kids get the best education that they can. They will clean the house. They want their kids to dress in the best clothes they can afford. They will not sleep if their kid is not well. They will even go out. I've seen parents that will go out to fight for their children. Yes, how dare you touch my child? But when they get home, they'll pull that child indoors and talk some reality, talk some sense in that child's head. They will discipline their children to the best of their abilities. They will borrow money. I've seen parents that will borrow money, yes, just to solve any problem that concerns their children. This is the value that many parents, especially African parents, have towards their children. And when these parents immigrate to any country, whether the UK or wherever, this same value, they hold these same values. But sadly, these parents are seeing an increased number of children being taken away from them. And the question is, why? Why? Hello everybody, I am Peggy Barrett and I'm so glad that you're here today. In today's video, we're going to be answering two important questions. Who is a child in need and what can you do to prevent a child in need from going into care? This is a continuation of our bite-sized videos that we have been talking on child safeguarding, and as parents we need to learn in order to protect our kids from going into social care. So please, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I would strongly advise that you go and watch those videos so that the information can flow easily. I have seen many parents go into panic mode whenever they're told that their child is a child in need. They're like, oh my God, what have I done to deserve this? But hey, who is a child in need? In England, a child in need is a child who requires additional support from local authorities to achieve or maintain a reasonable standard of health or development. This definition comes from Section 17 of the Children Act or Children Act in 1989. Remember, in the previous videos, we've talked about the key acts or key legislation and principles, that you need to familiarize yourself with. A child in need is considered in need if the following things happen, like for example, number one, if their health or development is significantly impaired or is at risk of being impaired without local authority intervention. Number two, they may have disability, meaning they have physical or mental impairment or disability that may impact their daily life. And number three, they require additional services beyond what is normally available to children of that same age. So now, these are very important to note because our cultural beliefs or values may limit our judgment around mental impairment. I have seen places where the medical team and the social service will come to a family and they're telling that family or telling that parents that, hey, your child has got some medical impairment or got some, a disability. But that parent will be insisting that their child is fine. And this is where the fight usually begins, if not handled effectively. I know that most of us, we come from a faith background. We believe, our faith, is predominantly what we carry with us. But sometimes we should also be realistic. And like I always say, the fact that somebody says something is there does not mean that you shouldn't collaborate. You can collaborate, but still keep your faith with you. So here are some examples of children in need. Number one, children with disabilities. That means physical, sensory, or learning disabilities. Number two, children living in poor housing conditions affecting their well-being. Number three, children who are experiencing neglect or inadequate care, but who have not met the threshold of child protection. In the next video, we're going to talk of child protection plan because this is different. There's a difference between a child in need plan and child protection plan. we're going to talk about the child protection plan in our next video, because it's very, very important. I call it the big elephant in the room. The second thing is young carers, especially children who are responsible for looking after their relatives, right? Children who are responsible for looking after maybe a relative, a parent, a siblings. These children are usually considered child in need. The fifth thing is homeless children who are at risk of family breakdown. And the big one that we need to pay attention is children affected by domestic abuse, substance abuse, or mental health issues in the family. And that means maybe the parents are experiencing domestic abuse, or one or both parents are having substance misuse or mental health issues. Children who live in environment like this, they may be assessed for as child in need. So another important thing that we need to bear in mind is that when a child is identified as a child in need, three things will usually happen. The first thing that will usually happen is that the social services will conduct a child in need assessment to determine what support is required for your child. So hey, when they say your child is a child in need, it's not the end of the world, right? They're just saying that there is some extra support that you need, or that child needs, to ensure that that child is safe and well. The second thing that the social service will do is that once they conduct the needs assessment, and if the child is eligible, or if the child meets the criteria, the child and their family will receive a child in need plan. And that plan will outline services such as family support workers. They will identify financial assistance that maybe the child and the family needs. They will identify housing support, therapy or mental health services, parenting programs. If maybe they have identified that there's some parental issues, then they will identify some programs that the parents, one or both parents, can attend those programs. And then the local authorities will regularly review the child's progress as well and adjust the support as needed. So you can see that if your child is under a child in need plan, it is not the end of the world. It just means that social services have concerns about their well-being, but do not consider them at immediate risk of harm. That means they cannot just come and take the children or take that child away. Instead of removing the child, they will provide support to help the family to improve the child well-being. As a parent, you've got a crucial role to play to ensure that child in need plan is successful. And these are some of the things that you can do. You need to understand, number one, you need to understand the child in need plan, right? So normally, like I said, once that child in need plan has been done, you can request a copy. It is your right to request an official copy outlining the concerns, the goals, and the support that is in that plan. You need to know the action that is required of you. If the plan, for example, maybe lists some actions like home improvement, attending schools or attending parenting courses, these are the actions that you need to make sure that you do these actions, right? Because that is going to show the seriousness at your own end. If anything is unclear, ask the social services for clarification. Yeah. So number two, you need to cooperate with social services. See, this is the situation, whether it doesn't matter your status or what you know or your academic level or whatever. When it comes to this point, you just need to collaborate with the social services, right? Because that is not a matter of arguing. Just collaborate to make sure that your kid is safe and well. You need to attend all meetings. These are usually held every 6 weeks to review the progress of your child and the progress of the situation. You need to also engage with professionals like social services, the teachers, and the support workers who are involved in that child's care. And also, you need to show some commitment, be open to advice, and demonstrate willingness to improve. Because if you're always showing that, defending yourself, that you are right, no, that is where things may aggravate. Number three, you need to follow the agreed actions. So if it is something to do with your home improvement, maybe they've talked about cleanliness in your home space, safety, and all of that, you need to make sure that you do those actions. Clean your home. Make sure that things are put in place so that the home is safe, the atmosphere is safe for your child. And you need to also address parenting concerns, like recommend any parenting course or families. If they have said that you have to attend parenting courses or anything of that sort, you need to try and make an effort to make sure you attend those courses. Ensure school attendance. That means if school absences is a concern, you need to work with the teachers to improve that child's school attendance and engagement. Also, you need to try and seek help. Don't act alone. Seek some help if needed. For example, if you're going through, maybe it's mental health or domestic abuse or substance misuse and all of that, you need to try and contact the services that deals with these things so that you can seek some support. Again, these are all just to make sure that they just want to see that you are doing effort, you are making an effort, and that you are really serious at improving your child's condition. Number 4, you need to keep records of your efforts. Yeah, document improvement, take photos, keep receipts, and note down action that you have taken to make sure that you are working towards the success of that plan that they've put for your kids. You need to record interactions, keep a log of meetings, like advice given and how you have followed through. Also, you need to maintain open communication. If challenges arise, inform social services and seek guidance. Very, very important. Another thing that you need to bear in mind is you need to know your right. Remember that you have a say. You have a say. Your view should be considered in every meeting or decisions that is taken. You can request, usually you can request changes. If, for example, if you disagree with part of the plan, you can discuss on alternative solutions with the social services. So yes, they are not just there to impose. You are there also to proffer solution. Because you know your child better than them. Okay, so sometimes they make your own suggestions, bring it on the table. Don't be scared to proffer some suggestions, again, that together that plan can work successfully for your child. Also, seek legal advice. If you feel that the process is unfair, seek advice from a family law solicitors, right? And number 6, or last but not the least, is to aim. Your aim is to end the plan successfully. So the goal of the plan, remember we said the goal of that plan is to demonstrate that you can meet your child's need without ongoing intervention. So if progress is made, the social services will close the plan. But if concerns persist and the case escalate to a child protection plan, that is what we want to avoid. Because if the case escalates to child protection plan, that is where your child can be taken into care if steps are not taken, or if things are not done in the right way. So it is very, very important to take that early action. That early intervention is very, very important. So now, sometimes you may disagree with some aspect of the child in need plan. Okay, it's not everything that you agree with, but sometimes they always say if you feel that the child in need plan is unfair, or maybe it is unnecessary, you have the right to either request a review and to discuss concerns with the social worker. You can also speak to an independent advocate for support. You can also make a formal complaint to the local authority. And you can also seek legal advice if you believe your rights are being ignored. Right? So that is the key in your child protection plan. It is not there to just take your child. It is there to support you and your child to make sure that your child get the best. So what is your thought? Have you or a loved one, gone through the child protection need process? If you've been through it, how did you feel about it? It will be lovely or great to hear your thoughts. So thank you so much. In our next video, we shall focus on the big elephant in the house. And that means we're going to be talking about the child protection plan. We need to understand what it is and what are the proactive steps that we can take to make sure that we prevent a child from going into care. Right, I hope that you learned something today, and please like and share with your friends, share with your family network, because you don't know the life, you don't know a child's life that you may just save by their parents or someone learning these things. So I will see you in the next video. You take care. Thank you. Bye bye.